I think the culture of analytics in higher ed, everything again is happening so much faster. We've got to be able to react more quickly when we see changes. We can't take months to do some sort of study to come up with what should be happening. We've got to be able to have a data set that we can start looking at things and say, hey, here's what we've seen much more quickly, and respond to it and react, be able to proactively respond instead of reacting several months down the road. We have someone in our office who has built probably 85% of our visuals, and he was not someone who had programming expertise. We implemented the SAS tools, and he just jumped on it and learned it, and he's fantastic at it because he, even without being a programmer, he's got this level of creativity that really serves us when thinking about the best visual for the best report and what works the best, what's the most benefit. We were able to have our student profile, probably 80% of our profile, out on our website within a week of going live. That was a lot of time spent prior to going live so that we could have those things ready. But I consider that to be a great success. I consider just the sheer volume of the dashboards that we have been able to develop this year to be a success for us. And that was really our first year goal, was to make data, make information more available to our end users and give them information that was much more flexible and dynamic in how that it can be used. And so that's stage one of our success. Another stage of that, again, is helping the campus become accustomed to that. And I think we have been successful in that. I think we certainly have, in addition to our executive team, we have advocates across campus that are very data-informed individuals, and so they advocate for this as well. And then I think our next stage of success, again, is looking at, okay, we have all of this information. We have the data, what's the information? There's that kind of cliche of we're drowning in data and starving for information. We're now at the point where we want to start looking at what is all this telling us, and how can we benefit, what benefit can this provide to our campus once we start looking at some of these relationships. What I think is happening for us is it's changing the conversations. It's no longer a, can you give us these numbers? It's, we have these numbers and here's what we see and here's what we'd like to look at. How is this number affecting this other number over here? Or how are these combinations working together to help or not help a student? And so I think it's changing the way we have conversations, and we're looking more towards analytics and how we do modeling now based on the numbers we see, instead of just looking at all the different types of numbers and categories of numbers. The information we have been able to provide, again, has been game changers across our campus. We hear time and time again, we never knew this. The data, we now see this in the data, or we always thought this, and now we know the data tells us something different. And so being able to give all that to our campus and our end users, and know that we have these partnerships across campus where our goal is now to take this and move our campus forward and to see how we can make things better, is just a great thing and a wonderful time to be working at OSU for me.